and the toes coming forward. It's very, very difficult to see. There's another one that's over here, and they're just walking along. Now, we kind of followed those tracks along, and if you keep following them and keep looking all the way along, eventually what you're going to find is that there's a little rainbow at the end of those tracks, because lurking just in a little bush underneath in front of us, being very sneaky, is Thandi's little cub. So it took a bit of tracking to find him. We picked up the tracks where we had the owl, and then from there he's walked quite a long way into the drainage line, and there you can see him just hidden in underneath the vegetation, the perfect spot for a little leopard cub to hide. It just gets in there, and if he sits and he puts his head right down, his camouflage is unbelievable. So he'll be a very happy little cat inside there. No tracks for Mom that I can see. It's just the tracks for him that we found going this way. Mom's tracks look like she was on the road, kind of moving northwards, so she might be lying somewhere up here on the bank. But he's definitely kind of on his own at this stage. I don't see any sign of her. Still cute though, isn't it? Kind of hiding in the little bits of vegetation. I've parked quite a long way away just to start with. I always do with him. It's just about getting him more and more used to cars, although he's pretty good these days. I always just try and start a little bit further and then go, and particularly because when you find a leopard, they're often a little bit more nervous. He kind of like ducks down and just makes sure that you can't really see him, and then he slowly starts to relax. There was also the reason why I didn't want to go closer, is because if he moves from there, I've got no way to be able to follow him. That fallen over tree that's in the middle of the riverbed stops me from carrying on up the riverbed. And from here, I can't really get around that tree, so I have to reverse all the way out and go all the way around. And you can just barely make out that there's something at the bottom of that tree. And if he moves slightly to his left, oh, there's Mom. Mom has also just appeared. You see her on the far left of the tree. Just make out her spots. Hello, Mom. You're both here. Wonderful. I didn't even see her there. It just goes to show that how well they camouflage. I thought it was just him by himself, but she's just emerged out the bottom of that tree, which is exactly the point I was trying to make, is that behind that little fallen tree is going to be an area that's going to be very difficult to spot anything. Cool though, I always love it when we follow tracks and find a leopard. It's like my favorite thing in the world. I mean, obviously we knew that there were leopards close, but when you get on foot and you follow them and you kind of feel where the tracks go, it's a very liberating experience, following leopard tracks, particularly when you find them. And I can't tell you how long I've wanted to have a sighting of these two at this particular spot. I've always thought that this is kind of the best place for leopards to take it easy and relax, and sure enough, we've got them here. The only problem is, like I say, is our comms here are a little bit up and down. So if you are asking questions and I'm not getting them, I do apologize for that. Hi, Thandi. I haven't seen you this year. She's my favorite leopardess, so anytime I can see her, I'm always pretty happy. Just park right there. That should be good. I'll be able to watch them. I don't know where he's gone. He's just somewhere in front. Hopefully he's going to kind of come back and lie with Mom. Look at that face. Thandi? That's her pretty normal stock standard look, which is this kind of grumpy demeanor. You see how she's lying on the wet, cool sand just to keep nice and cool. Clever girl. Just trying to see if I can find where the little one is. Wondering if he was going to come. Well, as you can see, we're still with Thandi and Cub. We have had the most epic afternoon, particularly with the Cub. He's full of beans this afternoon. He's been coming up to the car and just staring, then walking away, then playing. He's irritated his mom no end to the point where she's now left. And now he's going to go up on the rocks, which is pretty cool. Look at that. Always wanted to see one of Thandi's ones on these rocks itself. And now he's going to sit right next to us. Hello, boy. Isn't that pretty? It's unusual for us because we don't often see anything on rocks itself. You find that generally in the Sabi Sands we don't have too many rocks, and so they become, something that we never really picture our leopards on. But he's sitting perfectly for us at the moment. And like I say, he's irritated his mom no end. She was trying to sleep and he kept jumping on her and just thoroughly annoying her. So she was very irritated by the time she left. She was snarling and growling and hissing at him, at the wind, at the trees, at us, just everything. And then she just went up the rocks, and as he tried to follow her, she lashed out at him, and he's now stayed behind and she's left and gone off on her own. So we're not going to be able to stay with him much longer, because as it gets dark, he's still too young to be spotlighted and left on his own with us at night. So generally nighttime it becomes a close sighting with mom now gone. She, obviously we can spotlight her, and if she was here it would be okay, but by himself, not yet. He unfortunately is not of the age where that's possible. And see, no, it doesn't work like that. Leopards don't hunt at night only. But what generally happens is that because the day is warmer and that they were on a kill this morning, she's spent the day resting. But now that it's cooled down, she's going to go and probably scent mark more than anything else, because of the fact that they've been on a kill. How long they were on that kill for, judging by their stomach, maybe at least a day or two. So she's going to go mark territory, and if she comes across something on the way, then yes, she will hunt. From there, she's then going to come back, fetch the cub and take it. Now that hunt could take place tonight, it could take place tomorrow during the day, at any stage, because we know with Thandi, she's not a only nighttime hunter. She'll hunt during the day if she has to, and she does pretty well even in the daylight hours, so it's not restricted. You can actually hear him scratching. Isn't this cool? A throne for a little prince in many respects, these rocks. It's so interesting though, since Thandi's left, every time we move back, he follows us and then stops and watches us. If we move forward, he comes, move back, he comes. And it's like he's just kind of interested in what we're up to, because mom's left and he's just full of beans and is bored. That's what it kind of feels like this afternoon. Sit there. There's a good place just to lie down. Right there. Turn. And then face us, and then lie down with your paws over the edge. Come on. And that is exactly what I was hoping he would be doing. Isn't that cool? I was hoping he was going to lie like that. To be fair, the rock structure is helping predict that he was going to lie in that direction because of the slant and the slope. Generally what they like to do is not lie with their back on the slope, because otherwise if they kind of turn, they can fall down. So they generally like to kind of lie with their feet down slope and their backs up slope. So it was not too difficult to predict.